Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Double T British Kennels. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world famous Andy Shaver.
That's right. I might have an accent, being from the Northeast, like I am now.
Well, we just got back.
I'm a blue blood Northeastern, Jeff.
Are you now?
Blue blooder.
You were a Navy SEAL after you got back from the Bahamas, and now you're in Northeastern.
Now I'm a blue blooder. I just fit in wherever I go.
Yeah, I've noticed that everywhere we go. We just got back from family vacation, spent a week in Boston and Brownfield, Maine. Absolutely recommend Brownfield, Maine to everyone. I don't recommend taking your grandkids to Boston. They will not be enjoying that very much, I don't think. Too young still. They don't understand history yet.
Boy, Tony was all pissed off.
About what?
You were not a very good tour guide in Boston. He wanted to know where the Boston Tea Party happened.
Yeah, so we stayed in Boston for 2 days. We stayed in Boston one day. We went to Salem one day, and then we went to Boston, and we spent the day in Boston. And Tony, God love him, tells me, he goes, well, you didn't show me. We wanted to throw tea in the...
We were leaving.
We were leaving Boston going north to Maine. And he goes, well, you didn't let us throw tea in the Boston Harbor. I go, what? He goes, we didn't even see where the Boston Tea Party was. I go, you were standing right there. That's where we parked the vehicle at. We got that hotel, let us park.
That was it.
Valet Park right there. That's where it was at. Oh, well, you didn't say nothing. Well, look around. Shit, it's not hard.
Do your own fucking
Open
research.
your fucking eyeballs up and look around at shit. So, it was on Tony. What was your favorite meal that you had on this trip?
So I had lobster. I had lobster, way too much lobster. I understand, for people that don't know, lobster was a poor man's dish.
Well, it's not now.
About, 300 years ago. It was a sign of poverty. If you had lobster shells, if you ate lobster, you had to bury the carcasses in the backyard. Otherwise, that was just a big sign that you were very, very poor.
So that would have been the late 1700s, mid 1800s.
Yeah. You couldn't discard of your lobster where people could see it. Otherwise, it'd be a big black eye on your family.
So did you enjoy it?
I did, but they fed prisoners that too every meal in New England, and prisoners started to revolt. We're fucking tired of lobster. I think I'm there.
You're sick of lobster?
Well, it's so rich.
It is.
It's very rich and very hearty, and I had lobster rolls every time with lots of butter, so maybe I wasn't eating it right, but I was just drowning that shit in butter. I am a warm lobster roll guy, not a cold lobster roll. The mayo and the celery and all that stuff, it's good, but I'm going to say warm lobster roll with butter, can't beat it.
Where was your favorite one you had?
That last place that we went to.
That was the Lobster Shack.
The Lobster Trap.
I think the Lobster Trap, is that what it was?
Lobster Trap.
In Conway, North Conway, I think, New Hampshire.
It's such a rich meal that I guess I can understand if you had that for every meal, you'd be like, fuck, I'm sick of this. Because it's so hearty.
My favorite thing that I had to eat there would be, I liked the pizza the first night. I really did. We ate a pizza.
In Boston,
in Boston, and I did. They had broccoli on one of them though, and that kind of threw me. The everything.
Jeff, you got to get in where you fit in.
But we went to that same place, that Lobster Shack or Trap, and I had lobster ravioli, and it was very, very good.
Yeah,
very probably that, and then I don't know. I had something else that I really liked on the trip, and I can't remember what exactly it was. That first place we ate, Back Burner, I had something that night that I really liked, and I cannot remember what it was, but it was a very, very good meal.
How long would you want to go back in time? Because I would love to go back to the 17. I'd like to go to, I don't know if I'd want to go pre-Revolutionary War or post-Revolutionary War. Like if I was only given one option, you know what I mean? But I would really enjoy, hell, I would like to go back to the Salem witch trials. That would be fun.
Hell no.
Why?
They might think you're a fucking, all the shit you know, they might think you're a witch.
Well, I obviously would not present my knowledge, my wealth of knowledge to these people.
I have no intentions of wanting to go back to anything like that.
You wouldn't?
No.
Not even for a day?
No, I don't think so.
Just to see, because now we see Boston and how big and expansive it is and all that other stuff. I would like to know, back in the Salem witch trial days and the Revolutionary War days and Paul Revere's days, which is American Revolution, which is actually just a civil war in England. But what did it look like then? You know what I mean? Because now you see all these houses up on the hills and all this other shit. I think we looked it up. Boston was around 15,000 people during Paul Revere's day. How big of a colony was that? You know what I mean? Because like now, Boston and Salem, you don't even know when you leave one.
No, Marblehead, Salem, all that stuff is right. Peabody,
Right.
all that stuff. Lynn, Revere, that's all one spot.
So like, was all of that like a
no,
day's ride or
probably.
an afternoon's ride by horse to get there?
No, it doesn't take that long. From Lynn to Boston is only like 5 miles.
Right.
It just takes an hour and a half.
But that would be an all-day adventure. If
5 miles?
if you wanted to go to Lynn to shop.
Oh, you'd be gone all day.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying.
Probably, what's a horse go? 3.5 miles an hour?
I don't know.
Probably an hour and a half ride from Lynn to Boston.
Right.
You know, well, we say that. I don't know what the roads were like then. They
sure
didn't have drawbridges.
But that's what I mean. Like, what were the trails like? Like, how were people living? All that good shit. What buildings were there? Like the buildings, you know, that are there now.
A lot of them were there in the early 1700s.
I understand, but it's like it's just solid buildings now.
Oh, there were farms.
Like, how much of it was farmland? How much of it was this industrialized place? That would be interesting to see because now it's just Boston, Marblehead, Peabody, Salem. All that shit's just grown together. What was it like back in those days? But I don't think I'd want to stay more than 2 or 3 days in that shit.
I wouldn't want to stay overnight. If I could go back to that area in time, I would love to go to Cape Cod in 1955.
1955?
1955, 1965.
Why?
I would like to see the Cape area before it was so congested you couldn't get around.
Right.
Where you could go around and see places, to see all those little places in the like, especially 1965, when all after World War II and the Korean War, people traveled and did family vacations, and you would see the putt-putt deals and the lobster shacks and this and that, them old motels that had the cool neon deals. That's what I would like to see. I'd like to go back in that time and see that.
When did that area become like a tourist destination for the fall? Because was it after Hocus Pocus? Is this a new thing the last 20 years?
I think it's
like people it's like a mecca to these fucking weirdos to go up there and see where
I'm not disagreeing with you, and I've been there, and
people were hung.
And I'm telling you right now, what you got a taste of in Salem.
Oh, I can't imagine what it looks like at Halloween.
No, there's 200,000 or 300,000 people walking the streets.
But that's what I mean. When did that happen?
I think in the last 20 or 30 years.
Right.
Now, were me and Mom going up into like Stowe and Woodstock, Vermont?
Yes.
That up there is congested bad now, but it's old senior citizen spring break is what it is. Mm-hmm. And I tell everybody all the time, listen, if you live anywhere in the United States and you can go to the Northeast in October, please do, because you will be so happy. Young people don't appreciate it. Like, I think you and Jesse would really appreciate it. Now, y'all are getting older.
Yeah.
Your little brother would not appreciate it at all yet, but when he gets older, he will. But when you get to go up there and you see, like where we were staying at, you imagine everything in yellow and red.
Right.
It's just beautiful. And those, I think you got to be older, but that area is getting really congested. And that's where Boston gets double hit. You get the leaf people, and then you get the weird fuckers who are going to Salem for the witch shit.
Right.
And there are weird some. And for some reason, the lesbians and dykes tend to be witches.
No, I mean, it makes sense.
It's a bunch of big girls built like me and Tony running around. I saw when y'all were in a shop. Mom was in a shop or doing something, and it was at Quincy Market. We were at Quincy Market, and I was waiting in line getting something for one of the grandkids, and this girl in front of me and her girlfriend, wife, it was her wife because she said wife, big, both bitchy girls. One girl asked for something. She goes, "Oh my God, what has this trip done to you? What happened to my wife? Who stole her?" The motherfucker, ain't nobody stole her fat ass. They ain't gonna get very far with her. You know, she bought a cake or something, ate chocolate, and she don't eat chocolate or some shit. I don't know, but she just made "Oh my God" real loud and shit. Right. Who stole my wife? I'm thinking, motherfucker, they didn't take her very fucking far. She could run outside in a fucking day.
She's all yours.
Oh,
baby.
Fuck yeah, there ain't nobody wants her. Some people need to be lesbians.
I agree.
That girl right there, those two were happy they found each other, and that's great.
Yeah.
Because I promising you, there ain't nobody on our team wanting to be with that one. I mean, woof, rough. But yeah, Salem has a lot of weird people. Got a lot of cool history. Met a wonderful liberal lady, and she was telling me about. I asked about Kennedy. She's telling me she was a liberal. I said, "Well, what do you think about Robert Kennedy? Is he going to pull a lot of votes here in Massachusetts?" Thinking we would get into some kind of educational debate about Robert Kennedy. I didn't want to talk about Trump. I wanted to talk about Robert Kennedy and Joe Biden. And she goes, "Who?" I said, "Robert Kennedy. Is he that batshit crazy dude that don't believe in vaxxes?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I said, "You see that little boy over there? That's my grandson. He's 16 months old." And I said, "He's had more vaccines in his life than I have mine."
Right.
I said, "That's what's one of the problems is." Next thing you know, you're going to believe you need to wear a fucking mask too. But yeah, she's like, oh, yeah, I'm a liberal and I do this and I have this. Everything she said that she was part of, she had they were in an all-inclusive area where they gay married stuff. I don't care about that. If you want to marry a guy, go ahead. I'm going to marry a German Shepherd. You know, she believed in a clean environment. I'm with you there, ma'am. I hope we have a clean environment too. But there also some reality is if you're going to have a warm bed to sleep in at nighttime, you're probably going to have to burn some fossil fuels. I hate to tell you that, but
wood, which is worse for the environment.
It is.
I mean,
wood's worse to burn than natural gas. Natural gas is clean. I don't understand what the problem is with that at all.
That was the big problem with deforestation. The Earth's greener now than it was 200 years ago when everybody's burning fucking wood. Did you want to save the forest? Well, don't burn wood.
Did you know that natural gas is all clean energy? And now they have found out they can get lithium from fracking. But the liberals do not want to frack.
Right.
But it's a lot cleaner and easier to get than going to having some 6-year-old kids have to be slave labor to get it.
Right.
So they're fixing to come to a major problem. They got to figure out what they want to do. Do we want to frack and get lithium an easy way to get it, or do we want these little 6-year-old kids to keep building $20,000 Tesla batteries?
I think I know what they're going to say.
Oh, I know. But
fuck them kids.
Well, they got a lot of issues on that side for sure. I can only remember seeing one Biden sign in Boston. Now, I was there in the 2020 election year, and I saw Biden stuff more than I did this time. I saw none.
Yeah.
And I saw more Trump stuff than I did Biden stuff. Did you see the guy in Louisville in the airport? The big black guy?
The felon 2024.
Yes, I'm voting for the felon 2024.
I think people are just not looking forward to this November. I didn't tell you this. The big hoopla on my Twitter, at least, was
Joe Biden's going to be replaced.
I told you that.
I saw that today too on Twitter.
Did you see who they're thinking they're going to replace him with?
No.
Hillary.
That's good.
That's the big. They're saying watch for Hillary in July. So they're going to indict, or Trump's sentence is July 11th or something like that. They're saying they're going to pull Biden around the same time period. It would actually make more sense to do it before, wouldn't it? Do it like on the 10th and then have Trump sentence on the 11th and totally change the news media, the news cycle. It
may change the news cycle, but no, there ain't nobody going to vote for her. She doesn't have no kind of excitement. She can't draw 100 people in a room either.
You're coming at me harsh. I'm not the one pulling the strings. I'm just telling you what I've read by several people that Charlie Kirk is one of them.
If they replace Biden with Trump, replace Biden with Hillary, I'll do a backflip. I can't even do a backflip. I'll be happy as hell. She's not fucking electable at all either. The Democrats do not have one person that comes across as exciting like Barack Obama was in 2008, that they're going to get behind and excite. They don't give a shit about Hillary Clinton. First of all, young people, here's the problem with Hillary Clinton. I hope they do. I hope so. Because I can't wait to see that old cunt get beat again. Their problem with Hillary Clinton is that the young people they have no kind of connection to her. So there's nothing excited about it. Second thing is, Bill Clinton spent 28 times on Epstein Island. That's going to become a big factor. If she don't think that's a big factor this time, they're crazy. That's going to be a big deal. All these women rights single issue voters, these women aren't going. There's going to be a lot of people not vote for her because of the way she did all that shit. And Paula Jones got $1 million fucking everybody knows about for hush money. That's all going to come back. So I don't think that's a good move for the Democrats. If I was the Democrats, if I was the Democrats, I would have got behind Robert Kennedy a long time ago. That's what I would have done. Second thing I would do, if that wasn't going to work, I would try to find me some young, exciting Democrat that's not so far liberal. And I don't know if there's a such thing as one of them. But they need somebody a little bit more moderate, and they're not getting that. And that's what they thinking they're going to roll out Hillary from 2008. Well, that Hillary's gone. And she's got too much Benghazi, all that shit on her deal. Michelle Obama can't beat Trump. She got too much baggage on her, too. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Another thing that you said since you brought that. Did you know what the big rumor mill now is about the chef dying?
What chef? Oh, the
Obama chef that died?
No.
He had DNA samples of all the family.
Oh.
Don't know how fucking true that shit is or not. Don't have a clue if there's anything to it. Would you be surprised?
No.
There's nothing our government can do on either side. I don't trust Republicans more to the left. I think Trump is going to go with J.D. Vance is going to be his VP, though, the kid from Ohio.
He's up there.
That's who I think he's going to.
Could be Tulsi.
That's who I would like to have. when Trump is gone, I love Donald Trump, my favorite president of all time. Of all time, him and Ronald Reagan. Before that, I don't really know much about it. I was young. 10-year-old kid don't know shit about politics.
Right.
And that would have been my time frame. So Ronald Reagan and Donald Trump. It scares me that when Donald Trump's done in 4 years, there's not another Donald Trump out there. And there probably is. Elon Musk maybe. But he wasn't born in America, so he can't run. But I want someone that's not a fucking politician, not a lifelong politician, and someone that thinks out of the box.
The Democrats probably said the same thing about Obama.
There's nobody after him?
Yeah. Well, I just mean like somebody, like you said, basically they need to reinvent Barack Obama from 2008. Somebody young, energetic, a lot of ideas. And because, I mean, from what I like, kind of like you, I don't really remember a whole lot from the 2008 election, but I feel like he was probably pretty centered.
He was. And he's the problem our country's in right now because he had so much division, and he wasn't going to do that. And he was the most divisive president. Everything say what they want to, but all of our bad shit happened when Obama got in office. And I've said it before. He does not understand growing up as an American. He might be an American citizen. I'm not debating any of that shit. It don't even matter. But I know for a fact he grew up in Indonesia, Jakarta, Indonesia. He does not understand Little League Baseball, standing for the flag, December 7th, 1941. None of the stuff that we grew up with that we were proud to be an American about, he does not understand that. And that's when our problems went away, when we started having all this division, I think. And it may have been just a timing thing. It's kind of like Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was a really good president because we had the internet was invented when he was in office. So it made him look better than he really was. Mm-hmm. But the older I get, you find out they're all the same fucking person.
That's the problem with the two-party system,
Yeah,
Jeff.
Every one of them. On either side of the aisle.
That's why I'm not totally opposed to RFK Jr., like some people in this room.
If he was running against someone else, I might be interested in him, but I'm not against Trump because he's not near what Trump is. And I don't trust him because he's a fucking Democrat.
So
and I don't trust, he was.
You said the same thing in 2016, by the way.
What?
I don't trust Trump. He's been a Democrat forever. You said the exact same thing.
I probably did. But he turned out to
you said he was he's been a New York Democrat forever, and I don't trust him.
That's right. And I was behind Ted Cruz.
Give me Ted Cruz.
And then once Ted Cruz went away, I liked Trump. And I like Trump. Trump's done a great job.
What was Ted's nickname?
I don't remember what it was.
Lion Ted? Not Crooked Ted. Was it Lion Ted?
Sleepy Ted or some shit. I don't remember what it was.
Everybody gets a nickname with Trump.
Ted Cruz is the smartest guy in any room he's in, though.
Why is he not ever touted for the VP pick?
He's more valuable as a senator.
Oh. Maybe so.
I like Ted Cruz a lot, and I think he would be a really good president, but he's a politician. I don't want that. I hate Mark Cuban. I shouldn't hate. Hate's a strong word. I don't hate him. I don't know the guy, but I don't care much for his politics and some of the stuff, and I follow him on Twitter. But he would be a good president because he understands business.
Right.
And that's what we need. We need someone that understands business to run the business. And that's why I like Trump. I don't know what's going to happen after Trump leaves. But we got a lot of problems as a country. You know, it's really funny. You got to spend more time as an adult now in the Northeast. You've been there before, but this is a whole different trip.
Right.
And you got to see things.
Well, I'm a blue blooder now.
Yeah, of course you are.
Yeah.
When we go to New England every fall, and I was there right before the election, and I was there before Trump's election. I was before the 2024 election. Or the 16 and 20, both elections. And I saw the signs in the yards and everything. And what floors me still about the Northeast area is the rainbow flags in front of churches. That wears me out. My grandkids ask about it. I don't understand that. I don't understand why any church needs to be sexualized. Any church. I don't care if you're a Catholic. I don't care if you're at a mosque. I don't care if you're a Baptist, Methodist, whatever you go to. I don't understand why you have to have a sexual flag in front of a church.
Everybody had to pick a side.
I don't get it. And another thing that I'm really concerned for these people. I'm really concerned about this. I'm concerned about black people, because when I was there in 2020 and 2020,
mm-hmm.
Black lives mattered everywhere up there.
Right.
They don't give a shit about them, I guess, no more because there's no signs up. They were everywhere in 2020. I saw one Black Lives Matter sign this time.
I didn't even see it.
Yeah. How many black people did you see in the Northeast? Outside of the big cities.
Yeah, not many.
Ain't that crazy, though?
Yeah. Well, today is Juneteenth, by the way.
Yes, I understand that.
Forgot my fucking grape Kool-Aid.
Wow.
Well, I was going to bring it, and I forgot it. I made a bunch. I made what? I made some for today. There's nothing racist about that. So now you're telling me that the gays got the rainbow and blacks just automatically get grape Kool-Aid? Grape Kool-Aid's fucking delicious.
I like grape Kool-Aid.
I love it. I got a batch at home.
I want someone to open up a black restaurant. Don't call it a soul restaurant, black food restaurant. I love black food restaurant. I love black food. I love fried okra. I love cornbread. I love mac and cheese. I love fried chicken. I love watermelon. If that's black food, then I'm all down with that stuff because that's eating good.
Yeah, like Ralphie May said, I didn't get a fucking vote on the rainbow. Like I gotta give up the rainbow. Like this is bullshit. I don't want to give up grape Kool-Aid either.
Well, and
I didn't take a vote.
But it's crazy though how you get up there and you don't see anybody black,
right? And
all you hear about is how the rest of the country's racist and stuff. Well, you don't even have any black neighbors. How do you know?
Well, Boston's a very racist town.
It is. It's very segregated.
Yeah, I mean,
very segregated.
Don't be just eat like if you're in Boston, like they fucking hate everybody.
Bill Russell, like him. Ask him. They loved him when he was playing for the Celtics.
Right.
That is a very segregated town. I don't care where you're at in Boston. It's white.
Yeah.
White, Italian, or Irish. Yeah. Everywhere.
No, but they're just racist amongst everybody.
Yes. Yeah. But that's that whole.
Not necessarily a skin color, but it's just if I'm Irish and you're not Irish, then I gotta hate you.
Yeah. But what a cool town. I love Boston. It's probably my favorite. I used to really like New Orleans a lot, but it's so getting unsafe to go down there. I love the food in New Orleans. I think New Orleans has the best food in the world.
Right.
I do. And I haven't been all over the world, but I've been all over the United States. New Orleans has the best food in the United States.
It's good.
But I sure like the Northeast. I like the food. I like the atmosphere. And I met two really interesting gentlemen when I was up there. The gentleman that owned the Airbnb we stayed at.
Yeah, I slept in Tom Brady's bed to come to find out.
Looking that well, somebody did.
Probably me.
Anyways, that house sits on a bunch of acreage up there in Maine, and the guy does a lot of fundraisers for stuff. He's a big wig with a company that does a lot of work in shotgun industry, and they do a big fundraiser that every year. And Gronk and Tom would come to the place we were at, and they would stay at the house we stayed at, and they would do a big fundraiser for inner city schools. And I think I can't remember that. I've got the guy's name wrote down, and we're gonna maybe have him on, the one that does the fundraiser there. But they do a lot of things for veterans. This guy was an Army veteran. Had served 41 years for our country. Took me on a tour of his place. I got to see a bear, a big bear. Got to go with him, put bear bait out, and just a really interesting guy. He grew up in Quincy, Massachusetts, and talked about how that area has changed so much, but from when he's a kid to now. And ex-Army guy, and was definitely a Trump person.
Yeah.
100% gave me a Trump knife. Very nice gentleman, enjoyed him. And then coming back yesterday on the plane, I flew next to an Army veteran that was retired. And he was going to meet his buddies they were having a reunion in Louisville, Kentucky, and sit next to him on the plane. And I really enjoyed visiting with him. And the thing I enjoyed the most about him was he was talking about dating. His wife passed away and he's dating again. Oof. And he told me, he said, I sure like the ladies. He goes, but man, you got to really worry these days. I go, do you? Did you hear me laugh on the plane one time with him?
No, I was watching Bad Boys for Life.
He tells me, I want to watch that. That was on the plane?
It was on the plane.
Damn it.
You were talking to the Army guy.
Anyways, he tells me, he goes, men date men nowadays. He goes, I just don't get that shit. And he goes, some of them will date a man and a woman. And he goes, I just really worry about putting something in the wrong place and getting a disease. I started laughing. Oh, that's great.
Speaking of disease, did you see the preliminary report? Justin Timberlake got arrested.
A DWI.
DWI.
I saw his mugshot.
He had the reports. This is all kind of early, but he had, and I've seen a couple different things. He had Truvada, which is it's used to treat AIDS or hepatitis. I think if I'm getting this correct,
so he put his weasel on the wrong thing.
I could look it up. Speaking of that, that's how it tied in. He had poppers, which I've never heard of.
What's a popper?
It's what gay people take to loosen up their buttholes before intercourse.
I thought you was talking about like a jalapeno cream cheese and bacon.
Yeah, he had too many poppers at that party.
So they have a drug that makes your butthole release?
I guess. Jeff, I'm not gay.
Boy, damn sure don't need to have Taco Bell and take one of those.
I learned about this whenever I was...
your search engine.
Well, it was just on Twitter. We pulled up his mugshot and it said toxicology report. So I clicked on it because I wanted to see what his blood alcohol level was. And it didn't say anything about that, but I guess, and he had mollies and some other things. So it sounds like he was at like this weird sex party and got pulled over. It was in New York, wasn't it?
It was in Long Island or in the Hamptons. I think it was in the Hamptons.
Right. So,
which is on Long Island.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. But
what's his take on it? Is he going to plead guilty, or is he saying?
I didn't see anything about that. I just saw his mugshot where he looked like he was crying, and then it said he had that. Said he had Truvada and poppers and mollies in his system.
So
either he says he only had one martini.
So either someone roofied him,
right,
and then butt plowed him.
Maybe he's the next one in this P Diddy ring of fucking fire. I don't know.
I couldn't even tell you Justin Timberlake's song. I've heard him. I know.
Mm-hmm.
Big hit guy, and I'm gonna be honest with you. He always seemed like a pretty decent dude.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is his first time being in trouble.
And I don't care if he goes to a gay sex party. That's what he wants to do, knock yourself out.
Right. No, I don't care either.
But don't be so fucking smart. Are stupid and drive a fucking car when you've been drinking. There is no excuse for that these days.
Especially a guy of his status.
He should have somebody drive him all the time anyway. I would. If I had that kind of money, I'd have a driver. I was
shocked he drove his own car to begin with.
If I had that kind of money, I would have me a driver and an assistant.
The internet is now claiming that those things were fake.
So it's just the mollies?
Saying had traces of mollies, poppers, and Truvada. It's saying that that's fake.
Speaking of fake shit, this is how stupid fucking politicians are that people work for them. Did you see the Charlie Schumer fucking grilling deal?
Yeah, poor guy. Another photo.
Why do you even do that shit? Why don't you just fucking turn the grill on and make some fucking burgers and stuff and go out there and do, I mean, it's not that hard.
Right.
I mean, it just makes you want, do they throw all that food away? Or why didn't they wait 10 minutes and fucking let him do it when it's actually cooking?
Right.
I don't understand that. Movies do that too with me. In today's movie, there'll be a duck fly by and you hear a goose honking.
Yeah.
Or you hear a elk bugle and there's a fucking white-tailed deer there. Does somebody on the set not know what a fucking animal is?
No.
And
they don't.
That's crazy because that's the little shit I notice in movies and stuff. But Charlie Schumer's photo op and just cook some fucking meals for your family.
The charge was a single count because he refused a breathalyzer test, which was smart on his part if he'd been drinking. But I guess they got
him blood tested though, didn't they?
I'm guessing. So
each state's different on their laws and stuff. I read an interesting article about the Federal Reserve. Nothing on modern times. This is back when it started. I don't know how true any of this is. I haven't done any kind. I was starting to look it up this morning and I got distracted. But they put a Federal Reserve in Atlanta, Georgia. One of the 12 Federal Reserve banks. The federal government decided they want to regulate all transactions and financial in the United States in the early 1900s.
Mm-hmm.
Each state and each bank, like the Citizens Bank of San Francisco, would have its own currency. Had promissory notes. You could get promissory notes for so-and-so at this bank. Or you could go to this bank and get promissory notes or gold certificates or whatever it was. Well, the Federal Reserve said, well, we need a standard that's standardized by all places, where it's the U.S. currency, and that's what we're going to do. Well, these state banks did not want to do that because they did not want the Federal Reserve controlling them. So when they picked the banks in the regions to put Federal Reserve banks in, I was going to do a list of Federal Reserve banks, and I forgot to do the list. It came down between New Orleans and Atlanta.
Huh.
Atlanta won it because the president at the time was Wilson, maybe. Who was president in 1912?
Who was president?
It was 1908 or 1912.
Survey says Woodrow Wilson.
Woodrow Wilson. Woodrow Wilson. It was from Georgia. Is that right? Does it say that? I think he's from Georgia.
Boy, you're really making me work here. New Jersey.
He was from New Jersey?
Yeah.
Okay. He had some deep influences in... Who was the president after Woodrow Wilson then?
Jesus Christ, Jeff. I'm doing good just to pull that up. I thought Roosevelt was a Republican. He was a progressive.
He was a Republican, though.
Taft was Republican during the 1912 election.
I thought Teddy Roosevelt was a...
Telling you what it says here. Woodrow Wilson, Democratic, 435. Theodore Roosevelt, Progressive, 88 electoral votes. Taft, 8. And
well, okay,
Eugene
go back and say that
Debs,
again.
Socialist.
Woodrow Wilson was a Democrat.
435. Roosevelt, Progressive, 88.
I think that become the Republicans.
Republican, William Taft got 8.
I think the Progressives and Republicans combined case, I guess. But anyways,
So now what you want to know?
who was the president after Woodrow Wilson then? Who was?
So that'd be 1916.
Yeah, that would have been too late then. Okay, well, anyways, it's Woodrow Wilson. Anyways, Woodrow Wilson, I think, started the Federal Reserve.
Woodrow Wilson again.
Okay. Woodrow Wilson had deep ties to Georgia. So they put a Federal Reserve Bank in Atlanta instead of New Orleans, which New Orleans was a lot bigger center for money and stuff back then. So there was a big debate about that. But the problem is the guy that was head of the Atlanta Federal Reserve did not want to do it. He was very successful. He was a millionaire back then.
Right.
Ran his own banks and stuff, biggest banks in Atlanta and all that stuff. He didn't want to do it because he goes, I'm telling you right now, it's the same time they implemented the income tax. He said the U.S. government wants to get their paws on everybody's money. He said now they're doing the income tax. It's just to be the wealthy, so nobody cares about it. But he goes, you watch. In the next 30 to 40 years, they're going to tax everybody in this country that has a job. And he was right.
Right. Yeah.
He said everybody up north wants to say the Civil War was about slavery. He goes, it wasn't just about slavery. It was about states' rights. And they're taking away our states' rights by making us do a federal money.
Right.
Which I found that was pretty interesting.
So yeah, during the 1912 election, the Republican Party split between progressives Roosevelt and conservatives Taft.
Okay.
Roosevelt was for the New Nationalism Party platform, called for social insurance programs, reduction to an 8-hour workday, and robust federal regulations on the economy. So,
which I'm in tune to some of that.
Robust federal regulations on the economy?
No, I'm for. Yes, I am. I want them off that. I want them to deregulate a lot of stuff. He was for more regulation or against regulation.
Quote, the new nationalism platform, Roosevelt's new nationalism platform, called for social insurance programs, reductions,
which is Social Security,
probably reductions to an 8-hour workday, and robust federal regulations.
Okay. I thought you
economy.
said deregulation of federal. Okay, yes.
Wilson's New Freedom called for.
Are we talking about Wilson or Roosevelt?
Wilson's New Freedom platform called for tariff reductions, banking reform, and new antitrust regulations. So probably against the Carnegies.
We don't need no more government regulation. We got enough of that shit as it is.
Well, maybe Theodore wasn't the best.
They tax way too much on too many companies. If people knew how much tax they paid on gas, it would kill them. I talked to Payne coming home last night. Payne lives in Seattle, our youngest. He told me right now, gas is $1.50 a gallon higher there than it is here.
I'm sure.
$1.50. That's all taxes.
Yeah.
It don't cost. How much do you think it takes to take a load of fuel from the nearest refinery to up there? A quarter, maybe extra gallon. Maybe.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's over $1 in taxes that those poor people pay on the West Coast. Mm-hmm. I didn't look at gas prices on the Northeast. Did you at all?
No, I didn't. But they were $3 here whenever we got back.
$3.19. That's what gas is right now.
$2.95.
Okay. Where'd you pay that at? Buc-ee's?
Buc-ee's.
Yeah, $2.95. Okay, $3. It was $3.20 last night on the outside of Wichita because I looked driving back because I was talking to him. We were talking about gas prices, and I asked him because his car gets 12 miles a gallon or some shit.
Dickhead.
Well, I don't know why the fuck you need a muscle car, but
get a Prius.
He did that. We talked about that last night, and it's a pretty interesting thing. He says up there, he said every third car is a Tesla up there.
Oh, I'm sure.
All on the West Coast. And I told him, I said, well, those people, he said, and he told me, that's because most of these people think they're doing something great by owning one. Their neighbors got one. By God, we're going to show them that we're going green and we got one too. And you drive 20 miles to work every day back and forth. It's not a big deal. But he told me something interesting last night that I really thought, and we were going to talk about this today. The state of California has lost their ass because no gas tax now.
Oh.
So guess what they're fixing to start taxing?
Energy.
Yep, EVs. So when you go to plug your EV car in, you're going to have to pay extra tax for highway taxes now.
Fuck.
So they get you everywhere they go. They're going to tax the shit out of you.
Yeah.
But they're going to start taxing people in California because they've lost so much money off of the gas tax that they're going to start doing electric tax now. Mm. Now, what's going to happen is Aunt JoJo that lives in the house, they're not going to distinguish if it's going in your car. They're just going to put a kilowatt tax on you.
Right.
So everybody's electric bill in California is going to go up because nobody's driving gas cars anymore. Mm. Anyways, we're talking about that here. I don't see that many more Teslas here now than I seen 2 or 3 years ago. You just don't see very many of them here.
Right.
I see charging stations. There's more charging stations, but I very seldom see cars in them.
Mm-hmm.
This pickup, the Tesla pickup, you can't paint them. They put wraps on them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I said
That's why they're gray or black.
I saw a black one the other day, and I told Payne, I said, I saw a black one. He goes, yeah, they wrapped it. I go, they wrap them? He goes, yeah, I said, I don't think you can paint them. It's just a stainless steel.
Right.
So they do that to protect them. I want to talk to someone that has bought a used Tesla.
Oh, right.
Because I had a car dealer here last year. We have a guy that hunts with it that deals in high-end cars. He sells Ferraris, Maybachs, all them high-dollar shit. And he trades a lot of expensive cars. And I asked him about Teslas. I go, what's the resale on them? He goes, they're not very good because you got to buy a charging station. And if you buy a 3-year-old Tesla, you're fixing to buy a $20,000 battery or $10,000 or $15,000 battery. He goes, who wants to buy a used car and have to put $15,000 in it? He goes, would you buy a gas car knowing you were going to have to put a new motor and transmission in it? He goes, no.
True.
He said, so that's really hurting the Tesla market is the resale.
I'll probably never get one.
Well, it
breaks my heart.
It's not feasible here.
Not yet, but maybe one day. Maybe if I live long enough.
And I read a lot while we were gone. When you a lot of kids and grandkids, you do a lot of reading. Read about the solar energy, solar farms. They think those things are good for 30 years.
Oh. And then what?
You either have to go in and revamp everything in them, or just let them sit.
Yeesh.
And it depends what the market's going to be in 30 years on them. But if I had 160 acres out here and they came to me and said, hey, because they're paying $1,000 an acre, and they said, we want to give you $160,000 a year for your property, dude, I'm going to let them build them things on me. Now, for 30 years, we're going to collect that $160,000. Year 31, you don't get a cent. That fucking land's not good for shit.
No. And I don't know what you would have to do to make the soil viable again.
Take a lot of years, a lot of plowing, a lot of rain, and a lot of growing.
I guess.
I'm assuming they're going to spray something underneath them all the time, weed control, to keep the weeds from
coming.
coming.
There's no sun.
Well, are they solid, or there's walk-through areas between them? If there's walk-through areas, there's going to be some sun.
Not much.
There's not 160 acres of solid mirrors. They've got to have trails to drive on and maintenance them. The ones I've seen
but I think
around
they're like
Anson,
chunks. Like you got your roads and stuff, but like there's chunks where it's just, I think everything. I've not been up close to one.
Well,
I mean, I guess I can pull up a aerial photograph of a solar farm.
I've just passed them, and it looks like they're maybe 20 yards wide, like a football field, and then have 10 yards in the middle of it with nothing on it, and then another 20 yards or something. But if there's any kind of open space, they're going to have to spray diesel or Roundup or something to keep the weeds out of them roads and stuff. So there's going to be that there. But yeah, it's not going to be good for nothing. And they say that stuff's not... it's like the windmills, that graphite and shit on them.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. You can't recycle them. There's going to be huge areas they're going to have to bury all this shit in.
See, like this one is kind of what I envision more of. Like where you got
the one on the right.
This one that I picked. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right there. But see the roads in between. That's what I'm talking about. And there's
right
rows
here, but not right here.
Yeah, there's rows in between those two. There's little roads. A wide road goes north and south, and see that little. There's a deal between them. No, that way. Go up and down, or side to side. That's a road right there.
That's a road, and this is a road.
Yes, that's okay. We're on the same deal. There are roads there that they're going to have to spray something on.
Right.
But let's say let's say that right there is 100 acres. 80 acres of it or 90 acres of it isn't worth the shit.
Yeah.
So when they turn away from that and they're writing you $160,000 check every year or 100,000, whatever they say that is. In 31 years, they're not going to come pick up all their shit when they're no good. They're just going to leave them there for you. You got a hell of a mess to clean up.
Yeah. Yeah. And I bet that's not light. Now,
a good investment would be when they're on like year 2 or 3 left on their contract, go in there and offer them $1 an acre for the shit.
Right.
For when they close shop up, and you might be able to do something you can make some money back.
Did you see this picture? That is outside of the Texas UT's athletic facility where recruits entered for their official visits. Lamborghinis lined up and down the drive.
That right there shows you.
Look at that shit.
19-year-old fucking kid. They don't have a clue about $1.
Look at all that. They're all crazy. Fucking Lamborghinis.
Okay. There's
Porsche.
Let's say there's 15 kids right there that have these cars, okay?
Right.
And they got these NIL deals. 15 of them kids, how many of them do you think are going to actually get to play in the NFL? 3?
Yeah.
On average?
Yeah, probably.
3.
If you look at the note, yeah.
That's at Texas. So you go to Alabama, and the numbers have been about 7 or 8 out of 15 or 10 out of 15 because it was Alabama.
Right.
But you go to most other schools, it would be maybe 3 out of Division I top 30 schools. Okay. You go that same thing at Wyoming, and there might be one kid that's going to get to play pro football. But those kids are making $250,000 a year to play football, probably.
Which I don't think
And they're
qualifies you to buy a fucking Lamborghini.
That's what I was going to say. That kid's going to look back when he's 32 years old and he's got a baby, and he's like, fuck, I wish I had that damn Lamborghini. I got to buy diapers now. And our Uber driver played football at Texas last night.
Oh, really?
And he was a coach. He just retired as coaching. He said, 2021, my daughter graduated high school. And he said, I was done coaching.
I'll be damned.
He played at UT.
Uh-huh.
And he's a teacher. He's good education. Super, super good guy. Gave me his card. I really liked visiting with him. Looked like Denzel Washington, too.
Yeah, very handsome man.
And I told him, I said, you look like Denzel. He said, man, all my students used to tell me that shit. And anyways, we talked about this right here and about how it's ruining sports. But he said, I got out of public schools. I can't handle this stuff no more. But he played at UT. Because we were talking about UT, he was an interesting guy. We talked about Denzel, too. I watched my first Denzel movie the other day that wasn't any good. And I've watched a lot of his movies, and I've never found one that wasn't awesome.
New or old?
It's a new movie.
I don't know what he's been
I've
in.
gotten on a kick lately where I've been watching movies by actors. Like, I've watched a lot of Clint Eastwood movies. All the old Clint Eastwood movies, I watched every one of them just about.
What was it?
It was I'll tell you what, I don't even remember the name of it. It's about, he's a police officer he's a sheriff's deputy. He was a homicide detective in San Francisco, I believe.
Oh, is that the one with Jared Leto?
Who's Jared Leto? The guy that died?
No, he's alive. Was it like Wild Things or something like? Not Wild
That
Things.
don't sound right. Anyways, it was a serial killer, and he
Yeah.
was going back to do it, and something had happened in Denzel's past, and he'd shot and killed somebody by accident, an accidental killing. And they took him off the case, and he was.
Did you watch it on Netflix?
Yes, very good
The Little
movie.
Things.
Let me see what it is.
That one?
I can't pull up the picture on the left so I can see it on my eyes. Yes, that's it.
You didn't like it?
No, it's terrible.
You said it was a good movie.
No, that one's not.
The Little Things.
I did not like that movie. It was the only movie I've seen of his I did not like.
Why didn't you like it?
It just wasn't very fucking good. Yeah, that is it, because that dude was creepy. I just didn't like it that much. And that's the first movie of his that I've seen that I really did not like.
Because I've thought about watching it.
Watch it. You may like it. I did not. It's got a 3 on audience. I mean, it just isn't a good movie. I watched all 3 of the Equalizers in about 2 days.
Yeah.
Excellent movies. Everything I've ever seen with Denzel's been a good movie. I did not like that movie.
Confused Netflix viewers left frustrated by Jared Leto's movie, The Little Things ending.
Yeah, it's weird. That dude's a weird dude. That's Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Well, he's a good actor, but he's a weird fucker. Or he plays a weird dude. It's just a really weird movie.
I think he's like a method actor because he was also in Dallas Buyers. He's been in a lot of movies, but like he really goes to extremes for his characters.
Well, he played extremely in that one. I just was not a big fan of it at all, and it was confusing is a word for it. It was all over the place. Mom was like, usually this is the way we watch TV. I'll put a movie in. Michelle's like, I'm not interested. I'm watching it. And then 5 minutes later, she's got her books down and she's into the whole thing.
Yeah.
And she was back and forth, and I'd pause it. She goes, you don't have to pause it. And I always pause anyways, but till she comes back. She told me about the 3rd time. She goes, Jeff, I'm serious. I cannot get into this. You don't have to pause it at all. I got to pee.
7 times Jared Leto took method acting to the extreme. One was the Joker.
I didn't realize that was him.
Yeah.
Well, he is a weird dude. He plays some weird places.
Requiem for a Dream, I've never seen it. Chapter 27, never seen it, but you can tell he gained 67 pounds. Dallas Buyers Club, he lost 30 pounds for it. Joker, I mean, he just did all sorts of weird shit.
I've seen him.
Jared sequestered himself from the rest of the cast and claimed that he sent anal beads and used condoms to co-stars like Will Smith and Margot Robbie. Blade Runner 2049, never seen it. And Requiem for The Little Things.
I've seen 2 of his movies, maybe.
House of Gucci.
Oh, he's great in that.
Yeah, he's just a big old fuck up in it. But anyway,
I've seen 2 of his movies. So,
what did he do in this? Leto did physically transform himself to play characters suspected. Anyway, he didn't do anything drastic with like losing weight or anything, though.
he's a weird
He's
dude.
a weird guy.
So, back to Maine.
Yeah.
You are almost the owner of a amusement park.
Close. The bigger that toe gets.
Are you going to ever share that video? That's an amazing video.
I don't know.
Andy's wife, my beautiful daughter, Jessie.
It's resulted in like physical harm. Like the video I shared where she slips on our porch and bunks her head. She shook it off an hour later, but like she's hobbled.
She was struggling last night at the airport.
Yeah, well, I mean, like you fly and you sit all day, you're gonna fucking swell. But like you factor in a broken toe on top of it. And
do you feel bad you laughed now and pointed at her?
I did, Jeff. I didn't know what was going on.
So Andy and Jessie and the grandkids, me and Michelle were the only smart ones on this deal. There is a tube ride. You ride an escalator up, or not escalator, a conveyor belt basically to the top of a mountain, and then you come down. And when you come down this mountain, they got water. Was there water on some kind of astroturf or something?
No, it was just mats that slowed you down. They were spraying water on the
when you're going
trail.
down the mountain though.
Yeah,
it's on this show, and you come down and you get to the bottom. Then they got these rubber mats. Well, all between the rubber mats, there's a couple places the mats don't connect, and it's just cement. And poor Jessie, she went flying down back. She was spinning around, and I think she beat Andy.
She did.
They were talking shit back and forth because they're very competitive. And she was backwards, and Michelle was taking a picture, and all of a sudden Jessie disappeared.
I'll play it on here for the podcast listeners if you're watching.
You must watch this at YouTube. This video will go viral.
No, I don't know if I'll share it like that, but anyway. Okay, so we're at the top. We're having a good time, talking a little bit of shit. Those two little fuckers in the orange shirts really put a lot of wax on the bottom of those tubes, and then and then here we go.
Do you get the sound on it?
Everything's all fun
because you can hear Mom.
Yeah, I think. Let's see if this will work.
Yeah.
There we go. Everything's going good. Jesse's beating me. I'm getting sick, going sideways. Here goes bad. Womp, womp, womp. There it is again. Kerr.
Oh, shit. She's lucky.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been a broken neck. We're very lucky. Very lucky.
Yeah, we're lucky we didn't end up in the ER that night. Jessie has a broke toe for sure, it looks like. Her shoulder's all bruised up. Her knee was swelled up big time. And the amazing thing is, not one son of a bitch that works there come to check, and they still have it checked on us. They all turned their back like they didn't see shit.
Fuck, not again. But when we first pulled up, so they had mountain biking on this mountain that we were on. I don't know why I'd call it a mountain, but anyway, they had trail rides that you could do. And when we first got there, ski patrol was like wrapping up a guy's elbow at that station where the people were sitting. And I told Zach, I was like, oh, fuck, I bet that guy fell mountain biking. Looking back, he was probably another victim of those tubes. So
it was
starting to make sense now.
That we went up there, and we were going to go do this the first day, and it was closed. They didn't open till the next day on a Friday, so they didn't open till Saturday. So we went to another place called Storybook in Conway, and I thought it was like a little kiddie park, and it did have a little kiddie park, but on the other side of the mountain, on the backside, they had a lot of they had bigger kid rides.
Right.
My grandkids absolutely love that place. One of the favorite things they have done in the world. They had cost as much as going to Six Flags. It's expensive as shit. I couldn't believe it. My American Express card is on fire right now. If you pick it up out of my wallet, some bitch has still got smoke on it from the last week. So we did that one day. Then we went back to Cranmore deal on Sunday, on Father's Day, and there was nobody there. We never waited more than 5 minutes to ride anything.
Right.
And they had a blast on it. But we went to the top of the mountain on the ski lifts. They go up there. They got a restaurant. Went up there and ate, and then we come back down. But they had different rides that you could do. They had zip line. They had a roller coaster. They had a gravity roller coaster that beat the shit out of me. I was more sore from that than anything I've ever ridden. It was just fast, and I was worried about Jameson, so I kept putting my arm around him, and then herky jerky. My neck hurt. I had stiff neck, but my grandkids love that stuff.
Yeah,
it was a really good time, and I highly recommend. If you've never been to Conway, New Hampshire area, that's a cool place to go in the summer to take your kids on a vacation.
The worst part about Jessie getting hurt is that was literally like gonna be the last ride.
That was it.
That was it. We were gonna do that. The kids were gonna come down, and like we were calling it a fucking day.
Yeah, we were wore out.
Like that was it.
And I think you talked her into going down there with you.
Yeah, because she had done it one time, and it didn't. She like started going sideways and got real sick, or was getting sick. So she was like, "Let me do this other lane. Maybe it'll be a straight shot." And like, I think I'd already told the kids, like, hey, go up one more time. We're going to go down. We'll meet you at the bottom, and then we're out of here. Ass over tea kettle.
I don't know how your kids will ever be whiny about anything, and they are because they're kids. But between you and Jesse, because you don't whine about injuries and stuff, you'll dick around with us about stuff, but you're a trooper about stuff. And Jesse's like your mother is.
Right.
She's a tough old gal, but she was hurting.
She was.
And when she got off that airplane last night in Dallas, I felt so sorry for her watching her hobble us 9 toes walking around that airport. I broke a toe in Mexico one time.
Right.
It's freaking miserable.
Oh, nothing you can do for it.
No, I mean, I had to tape 2 toes together and they're all purple, and it hurt me for a month.
Yeah, that's the worst part.
Oh,
I've turned out to be a very good tennis player this summer. Beat her ass a couple weeks ago. That was going to be our thing. We're going to play tennis.
she ain't playing tennis for a
Not
while.
playing tennis now.
When I was in Mexico, I broke my toe like the second day we were there for 7 days. But my buddy John Miley tore his ACL.
Yeah.
He jumped off of a ledge down to us, and back when we used to wear these damn, they used to have these Velcro looking sandals that you wore, and that was 1991, 92, maybe 93, I don't know. But anyways, John jumped and tore his ACL, and I'll never forget. I'm hobbling around.
Hard to bitch about a toe.
I got him a wheelchair, and I'm pushing him the wheelchair down to the doctor. Yeah, it is. I'm hobbling down there. So I hobble, pushing him down there, and we see this nurse. She was a RN, and she spoke really good English. I think she was even English trained. So anyway, she goes, what's going on? And she tells Jane, she goes, well, the doctor will be here in a minute, and he can examine it. She goes, what's wrong with you? I said, I think I broke my toe, and that's some bitches purple and shit. She goes, oh, that looks like it hurts. I said, yeah. She goes, best thing you can do is go put that in the hot sand. I go, what? She goes, yeah, just go put it in the hot sand. Let that hot, it'll be good for it. I said, okay. Then the doctor comes in, sees John, and he feels John's knee. And John was an RN. John's RN, and he was almost a graduate. And he had basic training on shit. And the doctor's making him, oh, yeah, I think you've tore your ACL. Blah, blah. So I go, what can we do for him? He said, well, best thing you do is go down to the beach and put hot sand on it. I said, motherfucker, I'd hate for one of us to have blow an appendix out here or some shit and put hot sand on your belly till it's time to go home to America. Now, that was 30 years ago in Mexico, or 35 probably.
Had you seen this video? A firefighter got arrested for parking the pickup or for parking the truck over the median.
You got to be shitting me. What a dumbass fucking cop.
I don't know when this was, but
P officer about the safety of where the fire truck is parked during a rollover accident. CHP has guidelines to safely clear the road.
What a dumb liberal fucker. That shit, like, that's fucking ridiculous right there. That'd fire his ass.
I saw this video. I couldn't believe it.
If I was a fucking judge, you know what I'd do? I'd have been like, are you fucking serious? Seriously?
Handcuffed him in his back from behind.
I'd apologize to him. I'm telling you right now, I'm surprised one of these other firemen didn't whoop that guy's ass. Right. I really am. I bet that's caused a lot of discord between them.
And like, if you look at the fire truck, he's barely over the line. I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to do. You're on a fucking highway. It's busy. Like, there's not a whole lot of opportune places to put your fucking rig.
I'll bet that cop, when he got back to his bed, his boss was like, what the fuck are you thinking?
Pick your battles.
Yeah,
they're helping
Christ.
People.
You know, you're going to get in a call and you're going to be in a wreck and they're going to come get you and say, fuck him.
It's a rollover accident.
Yeah. I would like to know what ended up happening on that deal.
It looks, I don't know. Let's see. Maybe we can scroll down and find it. The fire chief says, well.
Did they tow it off too?
I don't know.
What a fucking dumbass. I just blows. Guys like that make cops have a hard job.
Right.
I mean, and you see it every day. And they're like, well, cops are bad. Cops aren't bad. 99.9% of them are great. But the one guy that does something like that makes all the other police officers look bad. That's a terrible deal. What a dumb shit.
Let me see if I can find it.
That's just crazy.
See whatever happened. So this is older. This is 2014. Firefighter files claim against CHP over arrest, which I would too. Handcuffs another firefighter. I was just on a roll.
That's county or city versus state is what that is.
Right.
But I'm going to bet you that he didn't do that ever again.
Hopefully he's not a cop.
The people, it's like all things though. You see someone gets a little authority and they take it way too extreme, and that right there is taking it too extreme.
Well, and I mean, you're supposed to work together.
Yes.
You're first responders.
Yes, I just can't imagine. I mean, what if it had been an ambulance park like that? You can do the same thing to them,
Right.
Loading the damn body up, same thing.
I
bet that fireman at first like, are you fucking serious?
You're gonna arrest me for where I parked my truck?
Yeah.
During a rollover accident?
Yeah.
Said he filed legal claim trying to bring about a change in how CHP acknowledges the fire personnel. Should it be considered in charge of freeway? So that's what it was, basically. There was like a jurisdiction battle of who's in charge of this crash.
CHP's in charge, just like Texas is. If you get to a car wreck and there's a trooper there, he's in charge.
Right.
You know, I think even over the sheriff. The sheriff is the highest in Texas. The sheriff is the highest elected official in any county. So if things went to shit and we claimed
martial
law, the county judge can declare martial law, but I think the sheriff is the head honcho over everything. I think every place is different, but on a wreck like that, if you go to a wreck, the highway patrol guy is always in charge. I think even over a sheriff, but I do not know that for certain.
Says they made neither side admitted fault, but they have made peace. So probably didn't go anywhere. Handshake and a beer.
That was just dumb. I bet that judge was like, "Are you serious?"
It's the last fucking thing I need.
They
All over a fucking pissing match of who's in charge.
They arrested you for what?
Well, you see what happened is there was this rollover and I was fucking stabilizing a guy's neck and the highway patrolman didn't like where I parked.
That's like, I got a ticket one time because an old man that was 80-something years old didn't lower his, dim his lights. I'm serious. I go, I'm listening to him talk. I go, what else do you write him a ticket for? Was he speeding? No.
He didn't flick his lights off.
Why would you write an 80-year-old man a ticket? Why didn't you just tell him dim his lights? I don't understand. What are we going to gain by this?
Right.
I mean, is this an education moment here? Because he's 80-something years old. He ain't going to learn nothing.
He didn't give a fuck.
So we're wasting my time and your time and his time coming up here. Well, all you had to do was say, make sure you dim your lights, please.
Because I think it's like a drunk driving thing, isn't it? If they don't do it,
that's why they pull you over to make sure you're drunk.
Make sure you're not drunk driving.
But
it's one of the signs.
Yeah.
But gave him a ticket.
I couldn't. Yeah, I was like, seriously. I was like, I had one guy write one time for a guy going 6 miles an hour over. And I'm like, have you pulled him over before? No. Well, give him a free ride. I mean, just let him go. The one that bothered me the most was I had 2 kids that were 20 years old, both serving in our country, got MIPs.
They were in the military at the time?
Active duty.
Oh, fuck.
And I go,
you got to fill that one out.
I go, were they driving? No, the girl was driving. I could have gave him a ticket for open container too. The guys are on leave for 7 or 10 days, and they're with their girlfriends, and they're driving from Dallas to Lubbock, and you pull them over, and you give them a ticket for drinking. Were they drunk or belligerent? No. They're military guys. Yeah. Why the fuck would you write them a ticket? They're not hurting nothing.
Right.
Make them pour the shit out if you want to, but they're not. I mean, they're 20 years old. They're not. Just some common sense.
Yeah.
Were they danger to anybody? They weren't driving. They were riding in the back of the car having a beer. I dismissed them.
I think if you enlist in the military, your drinking age, you should be able to present that military ID card and you should be able to drink.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that, but I didn't. That pissed the officer off. He got pissed.
Why?
Why are you dropping the ticket? Because it's a fucking stupid ticket. That's what I can do. You can write the ticket, and I can judge on what I'm supposed to do with it. I say they broke a law, but there's common sense somewhere. They're not hurting nothing, you know. And if they wouldn't have been in the military and a 20-year-old guy that was driving a combine out here, I'd have done the same fucking thing.
Right.
I think it's stupid as shit to get a ticket at 20 years old for underage for a minor in possession. 17-year-old kid, 18-year-old kid in high school, I got no problem with that, you know. But you're 20 fucking years old. You ought to be able to have a beer. You should
absolutely.
drive, you know. You shouldn't drive, and not that they'd get you if you'd have been driving.
Yeah,
but they weren't doing nothing wrong, and I don't know where we've gotten so far with some of these guys, because there's a lot of police officers that wouldn't write them a ticket. Most of the police officers would not have. They say, guys, listen, don't do this, please. Don't put me in this situation. Please put the beer up till you get where you're going, and then drink.
There's just a lot of people that are black and white about everything, though. This is what the rule is.
Yes.
Sorry.
And
Try better next time.
I'm just not a black and white guy on that deal.
No. I mean, the world is a lot of shades of gray, but a lot of guys, especially, probably younger guys, it's just, by God, I got this fucking book. The guy law's on my side here.
The guy wrote me a ticket last year. I had a wreck in Tony's truck. I totaled Tony's truck, a hydroplaned. And he wrote me a ticket for unsafe speed. And I asked, well, what's the speed? Speed limit's 70 miles an hour, 75. And I wasn't going faster than that. Well, you were going too fast. You had a wreck. I said, well, you give everybody a ticket that speeds because it's raining or snowing? If the unsafe speed it is. So everybody that's driving down a highway at 15 miles an hour
and skids into the
median and stuff, you're going to write them a ticket for unsafe speed. Why don't you just close the fucking road down?
Right.
Anyways, the judge dismissed my ticket.
Really?
Yep.
Common sense thing. Was a judge?
He thought of common sense.
Right.
He goes, did they send you a bill for all the damage you done? I said, no, sir. He said, well, if the state don't want their money for the damage, I don't want the money for the ticket. And let it go. So I told him, I said, I've never had a ticket. I've seen a ticket come through my deal on this same charge ever. It's raining. Things happen. Thunderstorms, people hydroplane. I mean, it's just an accident. That's what it was. It wasn't spinning out doing shit.
It'd be interesting because we had a friend that his daughter had the same thing. I wonder if she got a ticket. Hydroplane coming back from Wichita Falls.
I need to ask. No, because it's in Texas. I bet they didn't because it was in Texas. This is no. But a buddy of mine, I bitched about this on Facebook.
Yeah.
And another guy that listened to our podcast got one in Tulsa did the same thing. And I dismissed mine. I need to contact him see if they dismissed his. But he got the same ticket.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's just the Oklahoma Highway Patrol thing. But but he had another buddy of his done the same thing. They didn't do nothing to him.
Well, there's just no limit to it. It's like, what's the speed limit? Well, however fast you were going that caused you to have this wreck was the speed limit.
Yeah.
You should have been going under it.
And I don't have the ability to shut up. Right. So I had to ask. And I asked the guy, well, you need to do this or that. Well, I'm just asking you what the speed limit is. You told me I need to go 35 miles an hour if it's raining.
Right.
You got to give me a speed. Because I'm going by what the law says. Mm-hmm. Speed limit is so-and-so. It doesn't say under there, if it's raining, you can only go 35 miles an hour. It don't say a word. I will tell you this much. When it's wet on the cement, I slow down a lot now. I learned my lesson there. I hope. Which our friend whose daughter did, I don't think she was going real fast either.
No, she was already scared. She was on the phone with him because she was freaking out.
Oh,
about how much it was raining and she was having trouble. So they bumped her down to whatever, and it didn't matter.
I was watching Val Castor's live feed about 3 weeks ago. He's a storm chaser at Oklahoma City, and he rolled his vehicle just like I did Tony's. Yeah. Same fucking thing. It's hard to believe until you've actually been in one. I've been in one that hydroplane before, just kind of slide a little bit.
Yeah.
But this fucker here, there wasn't no, and it took forever.
No gimme?
No, and it was the 10 seconds that it done for me to slide off the highway and into all them guardrails and stuff took 14 minutes, it seemed like. I mean, it was just fucking slow motion. Enough slow motion that I told Tony, you have your seatbelt on, right? He said, yes, it's okay, because this is going to hurt. And I said, this is fixing to hurt. I actually was afraid we were going to bounce back onto the highway to where there was a truck coming at us.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
That would have been really bad.
Bad Boys for Life. I watched it on the plane.
Is it good?
It is a good plane movie. I would not.
Would you watch it at home?
If it was streaming, yeah.
Because it's streaming now. I was going to get it the other day.
If it were streaming, I would. It's fun. It's just sad to think that we are living in a world where nothing original is happening.
There are some really good movies, but I think the studios are afraid to take chances because they lose their ass on all of them.
I just don't know what it is. Like, I was watching them, and it was fun because I enjoyed the Bad Boys. Was there a third one? Because if there was, I'd missed it.
There's 4 of them. Yeah,
I've missed I've only seen Bad Boys 2.
Which one is Bad Boys for Life? Which one is that one?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Is it show the trailer on it real quick? Because one of them
the
I
newest
seen
one.
Is the one where his daughter has a baby, or is that the third? Okay, that's not the newest one.
Oh, it's not.
No, there's one new one that's out now too.
Oh, I thought I got
there's a brand spanking new one coming out too. Because I was going to buy that the other night to watch it.
Oh, Ride or Die.
Right. And Michelle goes, "We've already seen this, Jeff." I said, "No." And then the baby's there, and the boy that, yes sir, no sir. Have you ever seen a grown man naked? Right. That guy, Reggie.
Yeah, Reggie.
Reggie's the daddy. That's the third one.
Okay.
I've seen that one.
Okay.
What's sad to me is.
But, okay, so I knew that this Ride or Die one was coming out.
That's the brand new one.
That's the brand new one. That's the 2024
And I
one.
think they spent $100 million to make it, and I think it's already made $104 million, I read, where it's going. But see, that's why they'll take a chance on that, because it's going to get
Proven
people
commodity.
like me to watch it.
Right.
They may not make a lot of money on it, but they're going to make some money on the deal.
Well, fuck. I thought I was cutting edge, man. I
No.
thought like, well, shit, this thing's in the theaters
No.
and they got it here. And
No, I did that at home the other day.
Man, this is awesome.
Same deal. I bought $4.95. I paid for it. I thought it was new, and I thought, fuck, this is cheaper than going to the movies.
Right.
Put it on TV, and I told Michelle, I said, let's watch this because we like all them. And she's like, we've seen this. I said, no, we haven't. It just came out.
Well, my bad.
And then I said, oh shit, I think we have seen this.
Because when it ended, I realized that it set us up for another one. So I was like, fuck, they're going to have 5 of these things.
This one is kid, he goes to Mexico and his kid, yes.
Finds out that witch was not a lesbian. She had sex with Will Smith. If you have not seen Bad Boys for Life, spoiler alert, Will Smith finds out he's a dad. But it was fun. But
so is the new son in the new one? Or did he kill the son?
No, he didn't kill the son.
Okay, I couldn't remember what they knew. He killed the lady, though.
Killed the lady.
She was a real bitch.
Yeah, the witch.
Evil lady. Okay. Anyways, yeah, there is a Bad Boy. There's a new one coming out but it's proven commodities. But there are so many good movies out there. I've never understood why somebody hasn't done a movie yet on the Armistice Day storm.
Right.
I think that would be a great, great movie. Now, I'm biased that way because it's something that interests me.
Yeah.
But there are so many good stories about people to tell in this country that would make great movies that before they would have made. And they don't do shit like that. But then they got this new movie coming out that your boys and Dylan just love to watch. It's about some girl that's fixed to have a period.
Inside Out?
Yes. And they were talking about it. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? And they're all excited about this movie. Did you see the first one?
Inside Out, yes.
Is it any good?
No, I mean, it's okay.
But that's the kind of shit they make.
Right. But the whole time I was watching this, I was like, man, it's just fucking sad. You know, the first Bad Boys, I think, came out in like 1995. I'm looking at it right here. 95, 2003, 2020. And it's just like
95 is when it come out.
We're really doing this, guys?
I was 29 years old when it first
Hollywood, like this is what we're getting. We're just getting respins of this. Like how old is Will Smith and fucking Martin Lawrence now? Like they got to be 60.
Martin Lawrence's fat ass don't want to be doing a lot of running no more. I can promise you that.
No.
He'd be like,
Martin Lawrence, 59. So yeah, he's almost 60 years old. Will Smith, probably closer, you know.
This concept is not new though. If you look at how many Lethal Weapons did they make? 4?
That's true too.
Dirty Harry movies, they made 3 or 4 of those. Smoking the Bandit, 3 or 4 movies. I mean, they get something that's hit Home Alone, but there's nothing new coming out hardly. Like
Will Smith's 55.
I don't watch new movies much, so I did not get into all the Jason Bourne stuff. People say they're really good movies.
I never watched it.
I have never watched any of these Bournes. The Jack Reacher movies,
never.
Same thing. Mission Impossible movies, nope.
Saw the second one.
I did watch Top Gun 2, and I thought it was a very, very good movie. I thought it was a good movie.
I've not seen it. So
Top Gun 2, it's good. It's really a good show. It's a real American show. It's good. It's a very good movie. And but most of the new movies coming out, I just don't want to. They're just nothing to see. And as I get older, and I realize that my days are getting numbered on this earth. I've got less days left than I've served already, and I notice that, and I think about that at a lot of things. And just so many things in life. And out here in the country, really, I'll drive by an old house and I'll think, man, I remember when somebody lived there.
Yeah.
They're long gone. They've been gone 15, 20 years. And it's just, as you get old, things happen. And so when I watch old movies like that, I think, man, them people are old and they're done. And so I'm really surprised they did a second one of those. I've been waiting for another Friday movie to come out forever, but motherfucker is
Don't touch Friday.
well, no, but Ice
You've done
Cube,
too many of them.
What's he? Ice Cube going to be 55 years old living with mom still?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, Daddy's dead, and I love the dad.
Can't do it anymore.
No, but they wait too long to do Christmas Vacation. I can't believe they didn't do another vacation with Cousin Eddie.
Some things don't need it though.
No, just do another one though. You'd have made so much money. That was such a good cast.
You've already got a classic.
You do.
Why tarnish it?
I would have done something else. I mean, Christmas Vacation, European Vacation. And what was the other one they did? Vegas Vacation. Those are all 3 good movies.
They were.
Vegas was a little cheesy compared to the other 2, but they were good.
Yeah.
They could have made another one without waiting this long. And now it's too long.
Oh, yeah.
It's way, way past that deal. There's no more Chevy Chases.
No.
Why is Vince Vaughn not making no more movies anymore? He was so good.
I think he was on the wrong side of a bunch of Trump stuff.
So he's a conservative.
I believe so.
No, that's probably why. But God, he was funny as hell. But I can't believe. Well, there's supposed to be a new studio coming out that's going to make some woke movies.
I don't know.
But even if you watch a movie that was made 10 years ago, they make fun of gay people.
Sure. Well, they made fun of angry white guys in this.
In what?
in Bad Boys.
I can't remember.
In Bad Boys for Life. They're in the motorcycle, and Martin Lawrence looks down, and there's a bunch of guns. He says it looks like an angry middle-aged white man's basement. And I'm fine with that.
It don't bother me at all.
I'm fine with that. That's why I gave myself a free pass to make the grape Kool-Aid joke today. Martin Lawrence made fun of me.
But I don't. People shouldn't get so worked up over shit.
Right.
It's no big deal. But anyways, I had
Vince
seen
Vaughn
that.
shook Donald Trump's hand, and I guess that fucked him.
Well, he's another one that made really good movies.
He did.
I'm not a big grown-ups. That whole deal, I like the first one best.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a Kevin James guy. But I like Adam Sandler a lot, and I love Salma Hayek.
Yeah.
But they don't. You're right. They just don't make very many. I'm like you. Why can't we? What other movies are out right now? Do you know any? See, I don't.
No, I don't. But I think streaming's fucked all that up too, though. Like it's got to go straight to a streaming service.
But when summer used to come out, there used to be big summer movies that come out. And then there was the Thanksgiving movies that come out till Christmas. And everybody had a movie. Even around here, if you think about it, the Guides 15 years ago, the night before Thanksgiving, we'd all go to Abilene, go out and eat and go to a movie, all of us.
Right.
There'd be a new movie out, whatever it was. And the last time we did that was when Red Dawn 2 came out, I think.
When they did the remake.
Yes. And we went and seen that. Do you remember when we went and seen was it The Ringer? Not The Ringer. Was it The Ring? Like The Conjuring? But it was The Ring, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was a creepy fucking show.
Inside Out 2, Twisters, A Quiet Place, Day One, Bad Boys, Ride or Die, Horizon, Kevin Costner's new Western, The Bike Riders. That one looks kind of interesting. Sound of Hope, The Exorcism, Maxine, Thelma, and that's it.
See, none of that. Even Twisters does not excite me.
Yeah.
I don't care about watching any of those.
No.
And there's no TV shows I want to watch. I don't even know a show series that's on. Me and Mom will watch something on Netflix, and that's it. And I've even had trouble on Amazon Prime and Netflix. I stream through 5,000 things. There's nothing to watch.
Have you watched The Bear? It's on Hulu.
Mm-mm.
It's pretty good.
Is it
About a
kind of like
chef?
The Chimp?
It's about a chef
Oh, no.
in Chicago. Takes over his brother's failing.
Is it a reality or a real show?
No, it's
Just
a real
like
show.
an actual story show.
Yeah.
Not like a reality about a real restaurant or nothing.
No. It's
Okay.
got one of the guys. You haven't seen The Claw, but the head chef is one of the Von Erichsen brothers.
I've heard The Claw is very depressing.
Yeah, Zach said it wasn't very good.
That was a wild time to grow up watching all that every Friday and Saturday night from the Sportatorium in Fort Worth.
But I think there's 3 or 4 seasons of The Bear, but it's on Hulu. That's the main guy. But anyway, he takes it over. It's like an Italian beef place, and he's a classically trained chef. And I've only watched a couple episodes. First couple episodes I've seen are pretty good, but I haven't got into what his demons are.
I'm gonna have to The Bear. There's
3 seasons of it.
Did you watch Regentrification on Netflix?
No.
Same kind of storyline about a Mexican guy that owns a taco shop there, Grandpa, and he's got one son of his grandsons. One of his grandson goes off to train to work at some fancy deal, but the Grandpa gets sick or something happens. He goes back and works, and they butt heads on stuff. Kind of same type deal, family type thing. I liked it. It was really a good show, and I watched season 1 and season 2, and then every time I get a good series, they drop it. Like I loved Kim's Convenience. I don't know why I liked it. It was funny. It was on Netflix about a Korean guy that owned a convenience store and his family. Got into it and they dropped it. Every time I do. I watched the new series with Jeff Daniels the other day on Netflix. 4 shows. Watched them. It was great. It's done now. There'll never be another one.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the 4. I don't want to be a spoiler, but there won't be a 5th one. So, but so I'm like, shit. Then I read a new book that I really liked the other day, and then they killed off a character in it of one of the series. And it pissed me off. It's like, fuck, they killed him. The show goes, well, it can't go on forever. Bullshit. You wrote 23 books. You should be 27 or 28 books.
more's not always better, Jeff.
No, but
You got to know when to fold them.
who was our winner of our Father's Day giveaway?
Oh shit, I don't remember the name.
Was it Ben Price?
Brandon Price, I think. Yeah, that sounds right. Brandon Price.
Brandon Price. Congratulations. He won the Father's Day giveaway. We're going to have a giveaway coming up for Squad Fest. It's going to be a hook and gaff watch. They have a field watch. It's going to be a hook and gaff watch, and we'll have a goose hunting giveaway. I'll be on that, and it will be we will draw a name or pick a name at Squad Fest for that. So that will be our next giveaway. Andy will be putting all the stuff you need to do to win that. But
I don't know how I'm going to do that because fucking bots were angry on this one.
I don't.
Anytime you post anything on Facebook about free or giveaway, and it's happened to my wife's business, the bots just bombard you. Everybody that left a comment, and there was like an hour where I wasn't paying attention. Like everybody that had left a comment to enter, like the bot hit them. So
I had got to leave a message on here. I won that. My wife said I won this deal. I've never won that in my life. Is it true?
It impacts old people.
So you think he was an old guy?
I bet he's over 60.
Okay, I don't know. I don't think so from his deal, but
it didn't come, like, you can tell it doesn't say anything about the podcast. Like, I'm not gonna have some Chinese lettering contacting people to tell you that you won this fucking this thing,
right?
And I'm damn sure not gonna tell 50 people that they've won it. So like all you had to do was see all the other comments and whatever.
But I wrote on there.
Old people are gullible on social media.
We haven't given it away, and we won't give it away till Sunday. So
and I even said in the initial thing, winner's going to be drawn Father's Day.
Okay. Well, we are doing another winner at Squad Fest. We will be there with Boss, and we are giving away a watch and a hunt and some other goodies for a Squad Fest giveaway. We will be there for that. So you need to come by and see us at Squad Fest. You do not have to be at Squad Fest to win, but it would be nice to see you come by and visit with us. What else we got going on?
I think that's it right now. Just got back from New England. We got Dean Stanfield on tomorrow. He's an up-and-coming comedian in Austin, in the Austin area. Looking forward to talking to him. He's been with Dale Brisby for the last 3 days, so it's going to be a fun
Then we
time
have a young man from Karn City, Texas that's going to be on here, and we're going to talk about dove hunting in South Texas and hunting and his life growing up down there. He's a pretty interesting young man. And then next week, I don't know what we'll do. We'll have 3 podcasts. I'm going on vacation next week, so I will be gone late in the week.
Love you. Bye.
Thanks.
Watch
bye.
for deer. Go check out all of our great sponsors. If you're in the area and you're needing a new Chevrolet, go check out Mitch Hall, Lucky Duck, Mallard Bay, Ducks Unlimited, Double T British Kennels, Mossberg, Stanfield Outfitters, Alpha Outdoor Specialties, Hemp Hill Farm. Use our promo code BHP25. The Looking Glass Podcast, Shin Gear, Dirty Duck Coffee, Dive Bomb Industries, Pacific Calls, BHP25, the promo code there. MLR Graphics, and Boss Shot Shells.